There's a number of political commentators out there that are popular with conservatives, and one of those people is Ben Shapiro. Now, I don't watch Ben Shapiro very often, but after seeing his commentary on Black Panther, the movie Black Panther that just came out this weekend, it's going to be really hard for me to take any of his other arguments seriously.
Everyone in the media is talking about the most important thing that has ever happened in the history of humanity, or at least since Caitlyn Jenner became a woman, a transgender woman. And that, of course, is the release of Black Panther. It is so deeply important. It is, we've heard it's deeply important to millions of Black Americans who, after all, were not liberated from slavery 200 years ago and liberated by the civil rights movement with federal legislation, have not been gradually restored to what always should have been full civil rights in the United States. And none of that has mattered up till they made a Marvel movie about a superhero who is black in a country filled with black people. That's the change, right? Blade was not enough. Catwoman with Halle Berry, no. Okay, Wakanda is where it is. This is the most important moment in Black American history. Not Martin Luther King, not Frederick Douglass, not the Civil War, not the end of Jim Crow, none of that. Not Brown versus Board. The most important thing is that Chadwick Boseman puts claws on his hands and a mask on his face and runs around jumping off cars in CGI fashion. Deeply, deeply important. Black children everywhere will now believe that they too can be superheroes who jump off cars in fictional countries. But the point is this, right? If you're not telling your kids they can be anything in America, you're doing something wrong as a parent. And if you had to wait until Black Panther came out, right? We heard this about Barack Obama when he was elected too. Now that Obama's been president, Black Americans will feel like they too can be president. It's a transformative moment. And yet, all we hear now is that America is deeply racist and black people are still systemically discriminated against, and that black people are still victims in American society. So it turned out it didn't mean anything. When Obama was president, we were told it meant everything. And then he was president for 2 terms, right? Reelected overwhelmingly. And then it turns out it didn't mean anything because we needed Chadwick Boseman to somehow make sure that black people felt accepted in American society because a bunch of white executives at Marvel greenlit a film about black people in a fictional country in Africa.
Yep, civil rights don't matter, the end of Jim Crow doesn't matter, MLK doesn't matter. What matters is that black people have claws and they're fighting in action movies. That's what matters. What a triggered little snowflake beta cuck bitch. What this amounts to, this never-ending absurd rant, what he's angry about, what this 2 minutes is about, is him being angry that black people are excited to watch the movie Black Panther. That's all this is about. Why does this bother him so much? If you find yourself in a position where you are angry at somebody's excitement to go view entertainment, I don't know, maybe reanalyze your life. Because why are you angry at somebody else's excitement? It's absurd, and it's going to be really tough to view anything Ben Shapiro does and take him seriously. So any argument he makes from now on, anything that I see from him, I'm going to have to question what his motivations are and why he's saying what he's saying. Because I can't take what he says just on the face of it, because now I've seen this. I've seen this ridiculously absurd rant about nothing. And the one point that he tries to make, unsuccessfully, is that somehow Obama being president meant nothing. And that Black Panther is now the most important thing. What he's conflating here is symbolism with actual discrimination and policy. So, yeah, sure, Obama was president and reelected, and that was a great symbol for the country. That showed that there is progress being made. At the same time, black people are still getting arrested for marijuana at 4 times the rate that white people do, despite the fact that both white and black people use marijuana at the same rates. So, that is why there is still work to do. Whether it's Obama, Black Panther, or Halle Berry and Catwoman, these are ultimately just symbols. And yes, they do have strong meaning. And yes, there is a whole community excited about them. Well, maybe not Halle Berry, but excited about Obama and Black Panther because it shows progress. And in the case of Black Panther, when there is a sea of movies starring white people and action movies starring white people and superhero movies starring white people, and finally there was actually a great movie in the Marvel Universe, no less, which so far has been pretty good at delivering strong entertainment. There's a movie now that stars mostly all black people. Yes, that will obviously be exciting for people who don't get to see themselves represented on screen the same way that white people do. How do you not understand that? Put yourself in their shoes. You live in a country where you are discriminated against on a daily basis, whether it's by the police or otherwise, and the movies that are generally in the theaters are mostly black people. Think every movie, almost every movie that comes out stars black people. Imagine you as a white person lived in that world. And now finally there is a movie where people that look like you are represented on screen. And it's an action movie, no less. And it's in the Marvel Universe. And it's a big freaking deal because you don't get to see that very often. Yeah. Wouldn't that be a big deal for you? To finally see yourself represented on screen? So, this is just all bullshit. There's no reason to be excited at someone else's excitement. If Ben Shapiro was excited about seeing the new Spider-Man movie because he's also a loser in high school, I wouldn't care. Good for him. He's excited about Spider-Man, great. I wouldn't make a video about how it's crazy that Ben Shapiro is excited about Spider-Man because there's been all these white presidents. Why is he excited about Spider-Man? The whole thing is stupid. So, I don't know. The lesson here, don't get angry at the excitement of other people because all it shows really is that you're a dick. Hey, if you like this video, hit that subscribe button below and consider throwing me a few bucks on Patreon at patreon.com/therationalnational or therationalnational.com/join.